Every recruit would meet him in some capacity. My husband was on a business trip and somebody next to him said something about being in the Coast Guard. And he goes, "Do you know Jim Schena?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I know Jim." The fact that somebody just completely random knew who my dad was is just legendary.
Family's played a big part in my life. When you're young, you meet somebody, you get married, you have kids. I met my wife at a party. She came into the party and basically she lit up. I couldn't take my eyes off of her, and I never struggled with the decision to marry Nana. It's been 49 years of bliss. But after I met her, I knew she was the one, and I was at an age, I was 22, where I knew it was time to get married, settle down, and have kids.
We were out, and he said he didn't want to go back to his home to live, and he wanted to live with me. And I said, "Well, I can't live with you unless we're married." And he said, "Okay, we'll get married."
I was on a ship coming back from Rough Trade in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. It was a large Coast Guard cutter, which the main task in a war would be anti-submarine warfare.
And then they were supposed to be back a week before the wedding, and then they got a call, and they got sent for something that somebody saw, I don't know if it was a submarine or whatever, they got sent somewhere else, so he didn't get back till 3 days before the wedding.
Did get there in time. Got married, had a honeymoon, and then had to ship out again. Wasn't easy, but you do what you got to do. There were a lot of memorable experiences when I was in the Coast Guard. It was full of adventure.
So living on base is awesome. Everybody was really close. I remember we used to knock on our wall codes to each other, to our friends on the other side, because we all lived in different apartment housing.
I was a boatswain's mate, so I got involved in a lot of different things, like lowering the small boat, taking people over to fishing boats to board them. Made for some very interesting experiences. It's always tough when you're in the military. You might be on a ship, you might be deployed for 3 months, you might be on a shore station, but even on a shore station, you're standing duty 1, 2, 3 days a week. It impacts you because when you're newly married and like you have younger children, you're not there all the time. When you're on a ship, you can be deployed from 1 to 3 weeks, sometimes more than a month. And that's always hard on the wife, it's always hard on the kids. And it's definitely hard on you. You're working, but you're still missing your family.
I do remember he used to have to stand duty a few nights here and there for his job, sleep over and keep watch on the small boat station, and they would rotate who had to stand duty. So there were some nights that he wasn't home.
You always try to balance what's right for your family. The problem between your family and the Coast Guard is you have to spend so much time at sea. In order to get promoted, you need sea time. It's basically a seesaw. It's tough, but you end up doing it. So when my wife and children put down roots, I just knew after 26 years it was time to retire. I ended up staying in KMA because that's where my children put down roots. They were in high school. They just got into college, and there was no moving them. I did it for 26 years, and there was plenty of time.
Well, my dad is a legend because we came to Cape May, New Jersey, to the base on Cape May in 1986, and Pop retired in 2019. So to be on a base for over 30 years, or to work on the same military base for over 30 years is unheard of. Usually it's every 4 years and you move on to a new base because somebody needs your job or you have to go train somewhere else. But we stayed in Cape May pretty much my entire life.